Hey, what's up, everybody? We are live and we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Jay Hollingshed, your high performance mindset coach, and I am here to help you get out of your own head and into your own success. This is episode 95 of 365 of my 7 Pillars of Mental Performance series. Today is Thursday, day number 5 of the week. And we actually discussed pillar number 5, which is imagery and visualization. Imagery and visualization. Let me get all my thank yous out the way because I see people tuning in right now. Starting with my brother. I appreciate you. I love you, man. AJ, Arthur Hollingshed. Also, D'Angelo Michelle, you got a front row seat. Sean Tucker, my man, firefighter extraordinaire, Mr. Paramedic himself. I appreciate you for tuning in. Everybody else, oh wow, Curtis Odom, Lieutenant Curtis Odom, I'm sorry, Mr. Omega Sci-Fi, Frederick Shadding, okay, we're doing a whole roll call today. All right, that'll work. Those of you that are tuning in for the first time, I truly appreciate you. If you're watching this on repeat, you are appreciated as well. And if you want to watch this episode in its entirety, tune in on my YouTube channel. All of my episodes are backlogged on my YouTube channel. So tune in. When you tune in, like, share, subscribe, do all of that. And if this episode can bless someone that you know, feel free to share it with them as well. Now, let's get right into tonight's episode, which is imagery and visualization. Imagery and visualization. Now, I'm just going to break down one half of that tonight so you can get a clear understanding of what it is. Instead of visualization and imagery, we're going to go deeper into imagery, what it is, what it does, how it works, and how it can be applied to what you do so you can become better at what you do. All right, now, visualization is not the same as imagery. So today we're going to break down the term imagery. I want you to have a full understanding of what it is so you can apply it and get the greatest benefit. Now, by definition, imagery is mental images. That's Webster's definition. Mental images, or the products of imagination, or psychotic imagery. Now, psychotic, not crazy, but psych, meaning of the mind. PSY, psych, of the mind. It's mental. So it's mental imagery. That's what we're dealing with. Now, imagery is most seen and heard of in poetry. A lot of people in the literary world, they read and write poetry, and when they do that, they create an image in the minds of their readers. If you understand what I'm saying, give me a like or a thumbs up, or feel free to comment below. Now, they create an image in the minds of their readers. That's what poets do. So, now, to from a literary standpoint, poetry is meant to create mental images in the minds of its reader. But for what we're doing, we are actually creating a repetitive mental image we're creating a repetitive mental image so we can have a created experience. And that created experience is going to program our minds for what we want to happen, for our expectancy, for our goals that we're trying to reach. Now, for us, in the literary world, there are 7 types of imagery. But for what we're doing, we're only going to use 5 types of imagery. 5. They are visual imagery, which is sight, auditory imagery, which is hearing. We have tactile imagery, which is touch. You touch and you feel, you're feeling. Olfactory imagery is your smell, your sense of smell from your nose. And you have gustatory imagery, which is your sense of taste. Now, here are a few examples. Example 1, visual imagery or sight. Here's a common statement of what can be used to bring out a great visual imagery. The tiny red ant climbed up the broken twig. Now, auditory imagery. When it comes to sound, the car squeaked every time it hit a bump in the road. Tactile imagery. The sharp edge of the paper cut my finger and made it sting. Olfactory imagery or smell. The sweet smell of the fresh baked apple pie filled the air. Now, this may sound like poetry, but at the same time, we think in pictures. So we're seeing all of this at the same time. Now, the last one, number 5, gustatory imagery, which is taste. One bite of the sour lemon caused my lips to pucker. Daryl McConnell, I appreciate you tuning in. Don Brazel, I didn't get you the first time. I see you, bro. I see you. Don Brazel, thank you for tuning in as well. Now, to elaborate on what I just went down, the 5 examples, notice how every single one of them went into detail, allowing you to think and see, smell, taste, hear, and literally feel what was being described. The lemon. We know what lemons do when we bite it. So we actually experienced that when we thought about it as the reader wrote it. So they used a lemon. They said tiny red ant. Listen at the adjectives. Tiny, red. It climbed up a twig. The same thing as the car. It's squealing. We've heard cars squeal before, so we've had that experience, and so that's something relatable. We related that to what we already know of, and that became real to us. Now, what we do in our own mind is visualization. When we use visualization, that's just using our sight, okay? We create a picture in our minds, and that's all. That's just visualization. But I described earlier about creating an experience. Now, to create an experience, you have to bring your entire body into play. Not just your mind when you see, but you want to bring your entire body, your whole self, your mind and body. Why do you want to do that? Because it's going to take your whole self to reach your goal, your mind and your body. So when you add those 5 senses into it, you're hearing, you're seeing, you're tasting, you're smelling, and you're feeling. When you bring all those into it, you are actually activating the nervous system. Your central nervous system, it's being triggered by those 5 gateways. When you smell that fresh baked apple pie, it's triggering your central nervous system. When you hear something, it's triggering your nervous system. Same thing when you touch or taste or smell. It's triggering your nervous system. When that happens, it triggers your body. You're bringing your physical body into play. And this is no different from that bad dream that you can never get out of your head. That bad dream or that nightmare you had that you woke up to. Think about it. When you went to sleep, your physical body wasn't involved in that bad dream. It was only in your mind. Now, as the dream went on, it became more real. Why did it become more real and become an experience to you? Because your 5 senses got into play. Your 5 senses jumped into it. And when that happened, your nervous system kicked in. It allowed your body to respond. So when you woke up from that bad dream, your body jumped up. When your body jumped up, your heart was beating fast. Why? Because it was so real to you. You created an experience. Your palms were sweaty if it was a bad dream. Why? Because it was real to you. You created an experience. Better yet, you created an imagined experience. So that's the imagery. Imagined and imagery. You imagined an experience. Marvin Terrell, I see you, brother. I see you. I appreciate you tuning in. You created that imagined experience. So it was real to you. Even though it was a dream, your body responded as if it was real. And when your body responds as if something is real, then it will become easier to manifest. Now we're talking about your goals. We're talking about imagery for a reason. We want you to create the same process. Instead of a bad dream, we want you to create your own. And use that for your goals. See your end result. The goals you want to reach, we want you to add taste, add smell, add the sight, add the vision, add the hearing, add all of that. Because you don't want it just up here. You want your mind and your body involved. And like I said earlier, when your mind and your body is involved, it's going to take your mind and your body to reach your goal. You reach your goals easier. You reach them faster. And you're not working harder, but you're working smarter. That's what that is. Somebody else just tuned in. Who do we have? Luana Page, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you so much. So when you add your mind and your body, that's your whole self. That's what it's going to take to push and get to your dreams. Reach your goals. That's what it's going to take, and that's what you have to do. So, like I said, the objective for imagery or creating an imagined experience, you are literally going to create a deja vu moment. You're going to see that so many times in your head over and over and over and over and over. It's going to take consistency. You have to stay on top of it, because the more you do this consistently, all you're doing is programming your mind. You're telling it what to do over and over. That's how we learn. When you were a child and learning how to tie your shoe, you had to do it over and over and over. So now that you learn to tie your shoe, you can do it with no problem. You can do it with the lights off. You can do it with your eyes closed. Some of us probably can do it with one hand if you got the fingers to do it. So you're doing it over and over and over. At the same time, you are creating your imagined experience. You are creating your vision of you having obtained or reached your goal over and over. You're doing it so much to when the circumstances and the timing, they meet, that perfect time and that perfect circumstance and the opportunity, they meet at the same intersection for it to be manifested, for it to happen. Your body and mind will already know what to do. Why? Because you rehearsed it over and over and over. So that's all I have for today, episode 95. I think that was 95. Don't get me wrong. Let me check just to be sure. This is, episode 95 of 365 of my 7 pillars of mental performance in 365 days. Today we have covered pillar number 5, which is imagery and visualization. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I appreciate you all. Marvin Terrell, good information, brother. I appreciate that comment. Anybody who's had any comments, put them in the comments below. Anything in particular you want me to cover, put it in the comments below. And I appreciate that so much. As always, be well, stay blessed, and through love, be a blessing. God bless.